Hey, bro, it's Friday night. You know what that means.
Yeah, yeah, we've got a lot going on. We've got Bash at Berlin. They've been doing that German European tour over there. They've been showing out. If you've seen it on social media, man, let me tell you what.
Yeah, you talking about Bash in Berlin. We're going to give our predictions for that. Also, we're going to keep it over the pond, bro. AEW just got done with All In London. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about this new Intercontinental title tournament that they got going on Raw.
Man, Friday nights will never be the same.
Let's fucking go.
Okay. No more prayers when the God dies. With the future holds with my palms high. Left in my hands and make it alright like woo. Yeah, never let it know your dreams. Put it into a dark regime. Transform the score machine. I ain't had no pocket piston. Now I'm frying competition. Burn my way to top position. Scared of heat, fuck out the kitchen. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. I'm frying competition.
Yeet.
Yeet. What's going on, brother?
Hey, another grand Friday night. Bash in Berlin tomorrow night. We also got NXT No Mercy on Sunday. We're gonna talk. We'll talk just a little bit about that because the main thing that I want to hit on is that Joe injury and Ethan Page and how just crazy that segment was before that match. But then we're also going to talk some AEW. And maybe it's time to start putting some respect on their overseas. And we're going to talk why. Because they're putting up some numbers that just like WWE. And the Intercontinental Championship match will be determined in 2 weeks after this IC title tournament concludes in a fatal four-way match in 2 weeks. Before we get into all that, man, how you doing, Derek?
Bro, I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually very excited. It's coming up real soon. I'm going to be making a big transition. You know a little bit about that. And things are looking up.
Take a second. Hey, take a second and plug it, man.
Yeah, your boy is taking a trip from the deep dark wallers of the Panhandle and getting back down local. I'm gonna be right near. So when you watch the Plunder, know that I'm right there in Tampa, and I'm getting my news fresh. I'm getting everything fresh. All the content's gonna be fresh. It's going to be a big step up for the show, for the program, and the most important part about the move to Tampa, it's not the actual chance to save on the hotel fees when I come to the games, because that's a big plus. But my sons are down there, so that's a huge bonus for being able to move back down there. Which my mom and dad lived up here, and my dad moved out of the Panhandle after my mom passed. So, it's time for me to move on, and yeah, that's a big thing. So I'm stoked about that.
Oh, that is big news. But
Ta-da!
I know you got some other shit going on. Like I said, go ahead and plug what you got going on with the Plunder.
Actually, we've got a lot going on coming up. We've got a podcast is in the works. I just did the interview last week with DeMar Dotson. I'll be re-releasing that this weekend. If you didn't get the chance to see that, I will be reposting that video again this coming weekend while everybody's enjoying their what is it, Labor Day? I always get them mixed up. Labor Day, right? Yeah, Labor Day weekend. So tons of college football on. I'm gonna plug some college there real quick. But on the Plunder, we've got this Thursday. We've got the pre-show for the first game of the year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to invite the Washington Commanders into the Raymond James Stadium, and we'll see how that turns out. I've got high hopes for them. I've actually predicted them to win that game, but we'll go a lot deeper into that on the Plunder this Thursday. I also, again, mentioned the podcast. The podcast is something that's going to be, it's going to be different. It's not going to be, it's going to include some of the content that, I might discuss on the Plunder. But at the same time, mainly it's going to be, just me bringing the same love for football into it. I've got some articles. I'm actually doing some articles, so be on the lookout for that. I'm growing it. It's because of you guys. It's all because of you guys. Straight up.
Yes, sir. I'm saying while you're talking, I'm doing my thing and sharing it on my side as well.
Heard that. Hey, what do you think of my new background?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got bored watching wrestling, and I caught that. I was like, ooh, still frame.
Yeah. Hey, I want to talk about that real quick. I wish we had Trevor here. I know he's doing fantasy drafts.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about it then too. But what exactly is a black people skill? What is he promoting? Like, am I missing something?
I'm lost with you. I don't know. Like, that's the dumbest. Like, some people say the most ignorant thing in the middle of something that can be pretty well said, and they fuck it all up, bro. But like, I don't like, when you talk LA Knight, you can justifiably, listen to the arguments about he's a copycat, with his designs and his personality, his persona. But what I see is I see similarities of a few different wrestlers with that guy specifically, since his name is in question and he is in question, and what he's throwing out there is in question per se to the masses. And I've read a lot of it on social media, not including what you've got brought up.
Yeah.
But LA Knight I've always used this analogy, and I'll use it in this situation. If Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Big Daddy Diesel had a baby in a threesome, it'd be LA Knight. That's what I think.
He just said it'd be LA Knight.
I mean, I'm just saying that's literally what I think about that. I mean, but that's because I see a little bit of all of those guys and their personality and their personas and the wrestlers, and look, their design and their swagger and how they present themselves. I see a mixture of all of that into him specifically. And look, that's original because he's not doing it's not all The Rock, because look, you could say some Stone Cold's in there too, like you could see with his attitude, when he gets sassy in the ring and shit, he kind of reminds me of Stone Cold, a little bit in that attitude, with that, from that perspective. But as far as that statement, bro, I'm just, I don't know. That's the longest way I could say I don't know.
So you see where I'm at with it then?
Yeah, definitely. I'm on board.
You know what? But why? Hey, you mentioned some talking about WWE legends like Stone Cold, Diesel. We lost another legend this week, bro. And
One
for the first time, yeah, this one was. I think this one hurt. a little bit more than I think it should have.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't understand and really know, and just to bring it out there, the world lost a good
I was
man.
gonna say we lost Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious. He was, and if you didn't get into wrestling like we get into wrestling, you would have never known the kind of guy he was. Excuse me. He was a very quiet, well-mannered, kind of person. When you seen him in the ring, his mentality, he was a heel 99% of his career.
Yeah.
And he was a good heel. He was a big dude. He came across as his favorite persona was Psycho Sid. That was my favorite persona of him.
I think that was my favorite.
That when he was with the Four Horsemen. I'm a big Four Horsemen fan, and I grew up in the NWA era. When NWA was the shit. And WWE was just, Vince was a baby as a ring announcer, with Gorilla Monsoon, and that's when I grew up watching wrestling, listening to those two guys, as commentators. But like, it was a really interesting to watch Sid Vicious, and then probably about 10 years ago is when I learned about who he had, not only who he was and at the time, but like what kind of man he was. He was not the persona. So to see how far these people live to make you believe, and buy into what they're selling is great talent. And to be able to live the life that he lived outside of that, and to have the people say that, the things that they've said about him on social media in the last few days is, he was a damn good dude. And it was a big loss, and I can agree with you. Yeah, this one kind of, I was like, oh, really? Man, you don't hear about him because, he lives his life, and that's cool, but like, it's just, wow. It's deflating.
Well, I was going to say, man, Daniel called me, and he's like, Sid Vicious passed away, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, Sid Vicious? I'm like, I looked it up. I'm like, no shit. Like, I don't know, man. That one was...
Dude, I need to get a laptop or a tablet or something to carry around, because like I see things a lot quicker nowadays. Like when that come out, that was like, it was like recently broke within 5 minutes. I've caught a lot of stuff because I've been on the Twitter, the new X, and I've been, every time I follow somebody, if they're important enough, I'll update those notifications all. So like my notification bar is like it's killing my battery. Yeah. But look, I stay in the new, and that's part of what we do here. For this show specifically, it's about wrestling. I follow football and sports in general. I'm a huge Boston Go Big Green Celtic fan. I'm a huge Atlanta Braves fan. Sorry, Tampa Rays. I got love for you.
Yeah, bro, listen, I'm a Rays fan, but because of family, I got to go to a lot of Rays games because they played against the Rays.
Right.
Outside of that, I really became like a fan when they changed from the Devil Rays to the Rays, made that push, gained a lot of the city's fan base.
Gave them something to believe in.
And I'll be blunt, bro. As somebody who's followed the team, I'm a Cardinals fan.
Right.
But follow my hometown team. I can definitely tell you they lose their fans when they keep losing their players. When you piss away your players. Evan Longoria, Kevin Kiermaier.
Yeah, they were talking about
Randy Arena.
Look, he's killed him twice when he played against him. Like, here's the thing: they talked about this today on Jay and Zach on WDAE, and this is a huge thing right now. As part of conversation in the sports world around Tampa, is culture, right? Look at we discussed. I wrote an article about it about Jason Lights, posted on Bucks Life Media. Go check it out. It was about 44 of the 53 men on the roster were either drafted or signed by Tampa as an undrafted free agent. And that is an insane thing. And you think about not only that, you go to the free agents that we signed were vets, and not 4 out of 5 of them, dude, could have went and got big money from almost anywhere that would have signed them. No doubt, no question about it. 2 of them would have got max contracts. But on the flip side, you look at it and you look at the Tampa Bay Rays and what they've been through in the last few years and how they've done things, and they compare the two organizations and they look at, the culture over here and the culture over there are two different things, where guys are really trying to work out getting paid. They're not taking discounts. Like Mike Evans didn't take a discount this time. He got paid, and they're getting paid, but they're doing it in a way, and they're letting the team know that, hey, I want to be here. And it's because of things like how Jason Light does, how Todd Bowles has come around, how Bruce Arians learned to teach this organization how to run a winning team and a winning culture. And that's something that they're lacking in the Tampa Bay Rays organization right now. And I follow that opinion pretty wholeheartedly. As I follow because I'm so affiliated with the Tampa Bay area, being involved with with my sons and living there at time, and then being involved with the Bucks, I follow the Rays just by proxy.
No, I get you on that one. Now, one thing that you my bad, man, getting over the damn cold is kicking my ass worse than the cold did.
I can tell, dude. We haven't this week. I actually told Andrea, I'm like, he's still getting over that stuff, and I can tell you why. She says, "No," I says, because like we ain't chattered a bunch. Usually we chatter throughout the week, all week.
Yeah, bro. Like, we've had people at work sick too. I'm getting over my shit, and it's like we all have been doing the same thing. We'll come to work. We're sick for that day. We take the next day off, and then we all come back to work. And it's like we're getting over it. But this whole week, getting up at 4 a.m., bro, that's been beating my ass.
Yes. I can imagine.
But back to it. You're talking about culture. And one thing I want to talk about is a little bit of a culture shift going on right now in AEW. It might be time to give these motherfuckers their flowers, dog. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out on this real quick. AEW posts an attendance record of over 50,000 at All In London.
Really?
Over 50,000, man.
That's pretty cool.
Dynamite and Collision post the highest attendance numbers. I think, bro, AEW does put on a solid, because I did watch their Dynamite from London, and then I watched it this week to kind of see the follow up. They're getting better with the product. There's still a lot of gaps, and I seen something come out earlier this week, and I think I shared it, but I believe it. WWE in 2019 was unbearable, right? Now it's on fire.
Yeah.
2019, AEW was on fire. Right now, they're struggling.
Yeah.
Not gonna say they're dying. Not gonna say they suck.
No,
I
they
mean,
got way too much talent. They got way too much talent over there right now to be said they're dying. You would hear about it on social media as wide open as it is today. But
honestly, bro,
they're
they were dying.
now. My question. Let me pull a heel turn. You know,
I
because when
think
you
this is my heel. I think my heel turn is the simple fact that we
you're giving
might
them
need to give
flowers.
AEW some flowers.
Well,
As
I'm
much
going
shit as
heel
we
turn on
given
your
them over the
statement because
last year.
look, let's call a spade a spade. You know, they filled the house, right? They got a good show. All right. Give them credit for that, and I'll do that. But is that off the back of the momentum of WWE's European tour?
Okay, now let me tell you let me tell you some of the results from AEW from All In, and tell you why I thought this was it supports it, man.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan defeated Swerve.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That being said, I don't think Daniel Bryan needed that shit. I get it; it was to keep him from retiring, all this blah blah. But I don't think it was needed. You could have kept that shit on Swerve, bro. AEW has a gym in Swerve Strickland. WWE let this motherfucker go. They fucked up with that.
Yeah, I agree.
That being said, but you have Daniel Bryan winning the AEW title. You got Sting returning. You got Jack Perry burying Darby Allin. And not only shackles and a body bag, but he shut him in a casket.
Yeah.
Retaining that TNT title. And I guess he debuted. I didn't pay attention, but I guess he debuted it. Ricochet
Yeah. Saw that.
debuted. And let me tell you, I knew that was gonna happen, and I'm excited for it. And Dynamite on Wednesday, we got a taste, and bro, it felt WWE vibed. Will Ospreay came out, the kind of hey, what's up, Ricochet? But before he even got to say anything, Hawk came out, took out Ospreay, and told Ricochet, go find somebody else to play with. Welcome, but this one's for me.
Oh.
Bro, it made me sit there and go, hold up, Ospreay beat MJF the night before for that international title or continental championship, whatever the fuck it's called. And then their follow-up show, they don't have Raw the next night, they have Wednesday. So your follow-up show is you get Ricochet and Ospreay, your new champion, and what I think is gonna be gas if they have a title on the line for that.
Like, just
I want Ricochet to follow Ospreay's advice, bro. I want him to remind the fucking world who he is. And I want him to do it by tuning up in these AEW matches, get that wrestling under his belt again and not sports entertainment. And give me Will Ospreay and Ricochet. End the story.
yeah, because your wife ain't going nowhere, bro. She gonna keep announcing.
No, and see, I'm excited that they work in different companies, bro. You have several that do it.
Oh yeah, a lot of them do it.
And I'm all for it.
You know, I'm a fan of Ricochet's. I think that we understand where a lot of the problems with creative was coming before about 6 months ago, before Triple H really took over at WrestleMania. And that was part of Ricochet's problem. On the other hand, I've watched dozens of wrestlers work through that and build their own. Some of them had to leave. Drew McIntyre was one specifically that had to leave. Cody Rhodes had to leave. So there's nothing wrong with taking a break, taking a step aside, working on your craft, and coming back. It's not the same thing as your everyday profession, but it's in a sporting profession. That's exactly the mentality. With professionals, they'll drop down to the minors. For baseball players, or the G League for NBA players. You've got in football, you've got this. So in the wrestling industry, you've got and again, you've got talent that belongs and could very well keep up with the talent in the WWE over here in AEW. But it's the whole promotion is a minor to what they offer over here. Now, again, we just spoke about giving them their flowers, but I think Ricochet can go over there and actually do good, whether he stays there or not. I believe just knowing what I know of Will Ospreay, watching those two athletically in the ring, yeah, that's get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, popcorn ready, and you know what? You might want to get a second bag prepared.
and look, take it easy on your eyes because they're going to be moving fast.
I was gonna say, because if I'm correct, their last match lasted about 35 minutes, something like that. Like, they went for a hot minute.
Golly, it's nuts.
And I mean, we know Ricochet is a stamina fucking animal, bro. Like, I want to see that, but you know what? If you're gonna give me that, I'd be alright with a little bit of a build up. I'd be alright with a little bit of a long term story tell. Tease it for a little bit. Let them maybe you get them in a battle royal together. They hint at a little one-on-one, or they're in a tournament.
Right.
Anything. And then you walk into it, bro. Like, they would tear that. They would save AEW's audience easily. You would get a lot of the non-AEW fans watching, like me. My opinion.
I don't disown myself to watching the product. I have a hard time following the product because they don't keep me intrigued. I'll catch when I see an advertisement. This is how I usually watch it. I'll see an advertisement about a match coming up, and I'll be like, "Ooh, I want to watch those two," because I know the match in general would be good, but.
Yeah, and and that's the thing, bro. Like, with Ospreay and Ricochet, you might be able to get me to follow along a little bit, because that's the issue with AEW. There's so much. There's a lot of mid with very little high.
In my opinion, what I was talking with somebody the other day online, and this is, I think, their biggest problem. And we were talking about this. Their mid card sucks ass. They got really good wrestlers. They've got really good, promising young, beginners, but they don't have any meat. And that's almost like having branches and a root, but no stalk.
Yeah.
As far as their talent pool goes.
No, I agree with you. Now, speaking of that, we'll keep it in the realm with AEW for a second. They gotta quit, and I'm gonna talk about the history of wrestling Facebook page more than anything. A lot of their fans seem to be trolls and thinking that every WWE talent that is off screen or their contract is expiring within 6, 7, 9, a year, 2 years
Yeah.
is going to AEW. One in particular was Becky. Like, we knew Ricochet because we could see that fire and the hunger.
Oh yeah.
And the way he was written off, the way they still show him in clips, stuff like that, you know he was invested still.
Yeah, no
It
doubt.
was he just wanted to grow his brand. Same way with Cody, same way other wrestlers have done as well. Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy. When you look at it at this perspective of other talent, you got like Becky Lynch is not going to AEW. She
Right.
said it that she was retiring. I don't see her leaving WWE to go to AEW and putting off her daughter, regardless of if it's a lighter work schedule.
No.
Like there's
When she came,
there's no way you can convince me.
when Becky came back, it was what, just over a year she spent back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Her daughter was, I think, maybe a year and a half, just under a year and a half old when she came back, and the amount of work that she did over that time frame until a few months ago when she walked away was crazy. Um, and then when her decision came, I'm a fanboy of the man.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I think that's where I really grew to appreciate her.
yeah, that persona was. I mean, and I've been a fan of theirs because they're tied to the Four Horsemen with the Four Horsewomen. You know, when they had that revolution and her and Charlotte and Sasha and Becky or Bailey came from NXT. You know, I was a big follower of them then, and I followed them through NXT. And when she made that statement about leaving, I was like, wow. It stuck me for a minute, but the more and more I thought about it, she needs life. She needs her life. She needs her baby. She needs, to step away. So decompressing is a good thing in all walks of life, whatever you're doing. Sometimes when you get overwhelmed, you just got to turn and walk away from everything that involves that and just breathe. And sometimes that's what people do, and I think that's more of what this is. And I do not buy and didn't for a second. Becky Lynch signed with AEW. Give me a foot. Seth Rollins is Mr. WWE. Like, really? That shit ain't happening. She's gonna stay at home first.
Yeah, and that overall, what I'm trying to get at with it though is that's where the AEW fan base, and not all of them, but a good select of them, need to stop believing that every wrestler from WWE is going there. And WWE fans gotta stop thinking every AEW guy is coming back, especially that they've been former WWE. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to see the Young Bucks in WWE. Not at this point in their career.
I can, yeah, I can agree with that. I can definitely look over not having them.
You know, there's a good select few, man, that I could do with not having in WWE. But some of their fans need to stop that shit. Both of our fans need to stop that shit. Just is overall.
Right.
Because AEW posting numbers like that overseas, WWE's posting similar numbers overseas. You know, bro, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan, especially internationally. And I think that right there alone goes 100%, and what's going to help both fan bases grow and why international shows are just, bro, they're a pleasure.
Like it's funny. For a few years, we just got those Saudi, Middle Eastern shows that they typically did.
Yeah.
And they in the beginning weren't too attractive, and a lot of that had to do with a lot of politics. And over time, they have evolved. But over the last year, you've really seen the boom in not just wrestling going over there, because they've gone over there for years. And it haven't been as often as they have here recently, but now they're doing PLEs, and I'm talking big PLEs. They're not creating like they did with Saudi and the Crown Jewel and all that. They're doing mainstream PLEs overseas, and yeah, Bash at Berlin is one of those. But this is also, again, as a reminder, this has been what, 20 some odd years since the WWE has run a live televised show in Germany. Yeah, so from that perspective, this is a really huge thing, and again, that goes back to what you said earlier about AEW. It ties in, the momentum is carrying, but we've said this for months, bro. Now is the time to get into wrestling. You're missing the train. It is flying right now.
Yeah.
Because as we're talking, whether we like it or not, there's growth in AEW. And for the professional wrestling, professional sports, professional entertainment, wrestling business, whatever the hell you want to label it, it is fast, massively growing and getting better for the people like you and I who love this industry so much.
Man, there's a lot that goes into it, and bro, like AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, TNA, bro, like New Japan, MLW, CMLL, and I'm missing a few. I know it. JCW, like, bro, there's seven. There's 7 companies right there. Most, like, 4 of them independent.
Yeah.
That produce some of the greatest competition. And the ones that are televised and get lucky enough, bro, they're blessed. If we could get more wrestling on TV, you would see more fans enjoying it. Because there's such a different variety all across the board. And if they can continue to sell shows out like this, bro, it'd be insane. Imagine if wrestling brought the world together all the way. Like world peace type feeling.
That would be cool.
Like, can you just imagine?
When it, whatever your religion, this goes beyond religion, but when the kings and the queens and the leaders, for a more general way, the leaders thousands, hundreds of thousands of years ago created the Olympics, as a matter of fact, specifically, they were created in a time to give the people something to rejoice about, because life was so tough. Things were hard, and like, that is the whole precipice. And I believe these guys are athletes. These women, men and women, are athletes. And in my opinion, that's a sport. When you've got an athlete, you've got a sport. And like, professional wrestling is on such a different level than I could look back when I was a kid watching it. Talked about it, what you said earlier, and looking at it today, it's like wow, what they're going into the beginning of 2025 with Netflix. Like basically, you could all but see a murder, and it be a legit program. It could be something put together, not just some slop, thrown on a screen.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because we've seen the taste of the cinematic portion of how this is all going to develop into with wrestling. Dude is crazy right now.
Yeah, and you're talking Bash in Berlin.
Ugh, I can't wait.
We're 24 hours away. Less.
Yeah, because you ain't got much sleep because it's an early show. It's like 1.
Yeah, it's a 1 o'clock show
For us.
Okay. Yeah. So that being said, why don't we throw some predictions out there?
Let's do that. I'm stoked about that.
All right.
Now, are we going to do a pre-show tomorrow, post-show? What are we going to do?
We'll predict now. We'll do a post-show. So immediately following Bash in Berlin, we're going to go live.
Bet. I'm ready. You better be there, people.
Oh, believe me, everybody's going to be there.
Oh, yeah. If they're not there, they're going to be watching college football because there's a shitload of good games on tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But, hey, that's why it's on our page. So if you miss out, you could always go, look, we'll go share it again in a couple of days just to let you know.
Fuck yeah, we will. That being said, Air Twins taking on Dom and Liv. I'm gonna go ahead.
No, damn. I kind of didn't want to go. I really want to see. I'm digging. I'm not liking. Obviously, I'm on Team Mommy and Terra Twins and Damian Priest, but I'm digging the build that Liv and Dom are getting right now. And as far as individually, both of them, Dom specifically, because I'm a longtime fan. I've been a fan. I've been around Dominic and familiar with Dominic Mysterio since he was a little kid. I've been a fan of his dad since he was first brought onto the business from the Lucha Libre section of the wrestling world. So I'm digging the vibe of that, but I got to go Terror Twins. I think it's redemption. You can't go any further without getting that redemption. In this storyline, they have to get redemption before they move on, and they being the Terror Twins.
I was going to say I'm lost. It is far from over with this. That being said, I agree with you. We get Terror Twins winning. You get Rhea pinning Liv to set up Hell in a Cell for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship at Bad Blood.
I like that ending.
Next on the docket, you get a strap match. Good old-fashioned leather on skin. CM Punk on one end, Drew McIntyre on the other. And a referee just there because there's no pinfall, there's no submission. The match does not end until one opponent touches all 4 corners. It doesn't have to be simultaneously, but all you need to do is hit all 4 corners. I got CM Punk taking this. And same thing, bro. A win apiece. You set up that redemption, that bad blood. And I think you get it at here in a good old-fashioned street fight. What about you?
Well, at first when I saw what he had in his hand, I immediately, because I'm the old man of the group, I immediately went to probably my third favorite wrestler of all time, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And when you say strap match, that's who I think of. Him and Terry Funk.
Well, I mean,
Um,
come on, man. McIntyre and CM Punk, both huge fans of Dusty Rhodes. You know
yeah.
damn well
So
this is one of those.
let me tell you something, baby. I think this match is really going to be an explosion, and we're going to do it all night long. But CM Punk is going to walk away whipping that boy's ass and touching every corner. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the victory. That's my opinion. In my best Dusty Rhodes.
No, I completely agree.
I think it has to go down that way. I like the way you particularly put it because it carries the storyline and how it evolves. But yeah, I think it's pretty much the same outcome. I think CM Punk is definitely going to get a clear victory. He, in my opinion, I was skeptical about him coming back and how effective he was going to be able to work. And legitimately, yeah, he's old, blah, 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 blah. But you got to expect injuries with people that are that age when they do these kind of things. Like, this isn't like tennis. These guys actually beat the fuck out of each other. So, from that being said,
did you not hear Did you not hear the fist hitting fucking CM Punk?
yeah, so like it's you got to understand these guys get injured, and for me, you got to have him come out wearing some shine instead of some shit because he's been wearing a lot of shit even when healthy since he's been back, and I think he's going to walk away getting his flowers to kind of even the field out to build up the finish of the story, which could be maybe not over because once you go personal, you can really, if you wanted to and it works well, you could drag the shit out of the story.
Yeah, but
I'm tired of it almost. I'm ready for somebody to get
getting
their head split open.
It's getting a little stale. That's why I'm saying, man. At this point,
I think it's time. I think at Bad Blood, it's time to finish it.
yeah, I think at this point you
me.
can give CM Punk a victory in the strap match, and yeah, you have to just like Seth and Cody and Brock. You get a couple rounds, and then boom,
what that does is that gives Drew time to focus on Gunther with the belt championship because I think that would be a fascinating fucking program with those two big guys. And that also gives CM Punk and Seth Rollins time to work out a program coming into the end of the year too. And I think that's a good thing to come out finish the end of the year with those kind of programs.
I was going to say, one of my predictions for next WrestleMania card is Seth Rollins, CM Punk.
Yeah, definitely.
that is one thing I can't wait to see. Now,
does CM Punk play a factor in this match? Does he? Not CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Do you think he comes back? I think it's gone a little longer.
No, it's too soon. He'll be out for a little bit because what I'm understanding is that Bronson Reed attack was kind of it was to write him off for a minute because he legit was dealing with some shit.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of injuries in the last few years. I think he needs to take it easy.
Well,
I'm like legit injuries.
Well, Alex is sleeping. It was about a year ago. Watching the Impulsive podcast with Seth Rollins on. and he had said something about he's got like a herniated disc in his back, messed up knee. Right. And then, bro, Mania happens. He takes time off. Like, okay, that podcast happened, and then, like, a week later, everything about Seth Rollins on TV with his knee started happening. Like, all the promos began, all the conversations, everything. And then it was just back.
Yeah, because he had put it out there, so they had to work on it.
So he got his knee taken care of.
I mean, maybe that was his way of forcing WWE and letting him take time off.
They were planning it. It was just he came back. There was some time that he had before his surgery.
Maybe they're trying to have another baby.
Maybe. I mean, he's legit getting taken care of. He could be out for a good solid minute. I wouldn't say a year.
I was thinking Royal Rumble.
I was gonna say, bro, he could easily be out for a Rumble.
Yeah.
There was no, and I mean, there's no reason to need to bring Seth Rollins back right now. Like, Raw legit is doing solid enough with what they got. I think the pool is deep enough.
Right.
The stories are good enough. That yeah, you can let Seth have a little bit of time off, come back at Royal Rumble and run things his way. Yeah, hey, let him take time off, heal up, and what if? What if this Roman Reigns bloodline isn't just a bloodline? What if Seth has his back? Like, what if that chair shot to Seth's back from Roman at WrestleMania? What if that was a hey, now we're even? We're still brothers, though.
Huh.
Like, what if?
That's pretty interesting.
Because they came back together, they really didn't have legit beef before they separated. They just they all went their separate ways.
Right.
So again, what if? Think granted, you're not getting Ambrose back. Maybe you could. Because like Ambrose told Shivani the other night, this ain't your company anymore.
I seen that. Like, what is that about?
What if Shane McMahon somehow finds a way to buy WWE or buy AEW and legit decides to work with Hunter? Because maybe it's not, I want to work under the same company as you, but I'm willing to work side by side with you, company for company with you. Or what if Shane McMahon being brought in just to be that bridge? Maybe he's got a decent relationship with Hunter.
You can never tell with the McMahons, but to be honest with you, bro, I think it's all just dust in the wind.
It might be. I mean,
but to think about the way the way I'm listening to you tell me this, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, it's very plausible. Like, because they've got money inside their shoe soles.
And God. Like, what if Shane goes to Tony Khan says, hey, I'll purchase it for this, or let me buy half of the company for this. I will be the bridge. You don't have to talk with Hunter. I'll do it.
Right.
Or maybe he buys Ring of Honor.
No, I can see that for sure.
Buys Ring of Honor, has that promotion.
Because see, the thing about the AEW is I don't see Tony Khan letting it go.
So maybe he buys Ring of Honor, decides to work with WWE, and says, hey, my entire talent pool is going to be open. So if your talent work with my talent, and there could be a possibility that there's going to be WWE talent there as well. Like, is that going to be a conflict for y'all? Because if so,
that's interesting. It's something to definitely keep your ears perked up about.
right?
So what else we got at Bash at Berlin?
Well,
What other
we got
matches? We got
Randy Orton. We got Randy Orton. Or, I'm sorry. The women's tag team titles are on the line.
That's gonna be fire.
Alba Fire.
I mean, and I say that pun intended.
Taking on.
Look, I like them. I probably watched a handful and a piece of their matches in NXT. They're really freaking good in the ring together. I don't know how individually they are. The chemistry, they remind me of the Usos. That's just like, and I'm watching them and I'm watching their momentum build. I got them winning the titles. They're not losing.
No, you're right. And I'm sorry, I had a brain fart for a minute, taking on Jade Cargill and Bianca. That being said, I think Bianca and Jade get these tag titles back. It's going to be a fire-ass match.
I think the match is going to be crazy.
But I think the time for Unholy Trinity to have the tag titles is over. You give Bianca and Jade the titles again, and then you let them move forward.
We shall see.
That's just my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But look, all I care about is a match and being entertaining. And look, that's going to be an entertaining match. I think that's probably going if I were to rate them, one of the matches we have coming up to predict is my favorite match that I think is going to steal the fucking show. It's going to break the house down. It's probably going to be the main event. In my opinion, but this is probably going to be the second best match on the card.
Absolutely.
And look, we've talked about some fire ass wrestlers, so and some killer matches. So this card is actually a really kick ass card.
It's pretty solid for the most part.
It really is.
Now, the co-main event, you got Kevin Owens taking on Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. Is Cody retain, or is KO a two-time champion? I want to say Universal because that's the title. But
you know, this is a tough match. This is a really tough match.
Here, I'll give you a second to ponder on it. I'm just going to tell you my prediction real quick, maybe to
Yeah.
make it easier for you.
Okay.
I have Cody retaining
Oh, okay.
because I got Solo Sikoa getting involved and spiking one of the two or both. Spiking Cody first, and then spiking KO. And then at that point, you get the return of Roman and Jay or Jimmy. Because let's not forget, you're also getting the Bloodline in a triple threat match for the tag team titles against Street Profits and DIY.
You know, put aside the how it comes to an end, and I've tried to foresee after. You know, what happens if KO wins? What happens if Cody wins? You know, how does the landscape look after that? Because I don't think this is going to be a feud. It could be for maybe another PLE if there's interference. But you know, after watching the promo tonight, Cody Rhodes is losing me a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not selling my stock, but I'm looking at I'm looking and seeing how much it's trading for right now. If you catch my drift, because he's losing momentum, and at the same time, I see Kevin Owens in that promo walking away the winner. I saw the promo last week walking away the winner when they were trying to shove the title match down his throat 3 weeks ago. He walked away the winner. As in his fashion, the way he does, and out of both of the title matches, I truly believe that this is the one with the highest ratio to actually have a title change. Unfortunately, just because of the other opponent in the other match is such a
Yeah.
damn good guy to watch and to back and to be a champion right now. But I really want to say that I want to pull it out of my gut and say Kevin Owens is going to beat Cody Rhodes and win the title. But it's really tough.
You know what, man? Like, that would be interesting, especially since he was talking about, you have the knee injury. What if I win? It's going to be tainted.
Yeah.
Boy, would.
Maybe Cody does have a bad knee injury and he's trying to and he's
Play
got
it
to take
off.
some time off.
And yeah, maybe it does happen. Maybe you're right.
Maybe he hurt his knee in that match with Solo, or maybe he hurt his knee getting attacked by Solo.
But again,
At the same time, regardless of the injury, like I want to say that this match is going to happen again if Kevin Owens doesn't win the title. Because of how it comes to fruition, I don't believe Cody Rhodes is going to beat Kevin Owens.
like I said,
not this
it
time.
happened. If it
I believe
happened,
he can keep his title.
touche. Or maybe it isn't a draw.
When was the last time you seen one of them?
Been a while.
Yeah. I want to see an Iron Man match, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you ain't lying. But I don't even know if I want to see this go on anymore because it's like you got to turn KO heel to make it work.
I think that's what they need to do anyways. I think Kevin Owens should be a heel right now.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He's been a heel a lot. Like, I kind of dig, like, the in-between aspect. You could be the heel and you could be the face.
The Stone Cold effect.
Yeah. Randy Orton plays it really well, too.
Yes.
You could be the heel, you could be the face. I wish we could get a heel Orton.
Segue.
Especially right now. Yeah, and you're right. Segue is our main event.
Better be the main event. I'd be pissed if this is the last match.
Yeah, the Viper Randy Orton challenges Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Bro, my heart, gut, soul, and toenails are all Randy Orton, but my common sense is saying Gunther's going to retain.
Going stir fighting Gunther. My hope. How am I even going to say? One second. I'm just going to say this as a fan. That's everything. Give me the 15-time world champion, Randy Orton.
And Gunther's a formidable foe to do that with, too. If you do
hear me out. Gunther won the title in his home country, in basically his home country, right?
Right.
When we all thought he wasn't gonna win it, why not let him lose it?
You know, more than not, people lose in front of their home crowd.
Let him be humble. Let him fall like the Berlin Wall.
Ooh. 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 Guys, okay, just remind me after the show to bring this up. Just say what you just said again, okay? After the show to me, and I'll tell you where my mind went. But tomorrow, be looking out for something.
Yeah.
I'll share it on my page. I'll give it to him so he can share it on his page, and then the only other place you're going to be able to see content like that is by getting in the group. If you want to get in the group, we've got a group, Friday Night Heel Turn. Sorry, I needed to plug this. I've been waiting to do it for like 10 minutes.
Well, I was going to say, link is in the description above the video, but yeah, go ahead and plug it.
Yeah, you gotta let's build this community up. We've got a page, Friday Night Heel Turns, and it's all about the show. It's all the content. We post in there. You can post your stuff in there, news and notes. If there's any news that you see, scouring around on social media, share it in the group. And maybe it's something that we'll pull as part of content that we do as part of our live show. Yeah, definitely, we're trying to grow this community, and because look, there's all around the world. Social media is all around the world. Wrestling and the joy of wrestling is all around the world. So, like, they're in Berlin, Germany right now, wrestling. So, let's do this.
Yes, sir. Well,
now to answer your question,
you did. Now, there's really not much else to. Not really much else to talk about.
I didn't. I mean, I did, but
you did.
Like, I really just want to say Randy Orton.
Hey, you know what?
That's how. Like, I almost feel it. If you
know what I mean. As a matter of fact, y'all are gonna have to tune in for the post show just to see for this main event how our rapid reaction really is.
Oh my God. It's gonna be, dude. That rapid
Is
reaction is
our
gonna be.
heart gonna be broken,
Oh my God.
or is our heart gonna be filled with joy?
We're gonna be coming in like this.
Now, before we go, I wanna talk about the Raw tournament real quick for the Intercontinental title on September. It's gonna be a fatal four-way for the number one contender on September 9th for the Intercontinental title. Before that, they're having a series of matches that technically started. Jey Uso, Pete Dunne has already advanced. Next week, or on Monday, you get Sheamus versus Bronson Reed versus Ludwig Kaiser,
Oh wow.
who attempted to answer LA Knight's open challenge tonight and failed. Who wins this match, though?
Um. Look, I don't give a damn what you say. Bronson Reed's gonna win every
I was
match.
about to say,
Bronson Reed's gonna win every damn match he goes up
yo,
against
I ain't
until
gonna
you
lie,
prove
after
different.
seeing what the fuck is, seeing that tsunami off a concrete wall through a Cadillac.
Go check out my reel if you didn't see it.
Yeah, like that right there alone tells me, yeah, Bronson's winning this motherfucker, and Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser are gonna be on the shelf for a minute, if not Sheamus.
Yeah. No, honestly, I don't think that. I think you're gonna get Sheamus and Ludwig going at it once or twice more. Maybe they'll finish it off at Bad Blood.
All I was gonna say, there's a part of me that thinks Sheamus might win, and you get Sheamus in a match with Pete Dunne.
Ooh.
Maybe Sheamus doesn't care. I mean, I'm not gonna say Sheamus don't care about a title, but maybe Sheamus is focused enough on Pete Dunne that he takes him and Pete Dunne out of contention for this title. So you do essentially get a one-on-one, but before you even get to that,
I mean, I can see that, but to hell with that. Bronson Reed ain't gonna be stopped.
Oh, believe me, because the only thing I can think of is who the fuck takes out Bronson Reed. And I don't think everybody's gonna be cleared in enough time to return to take out Bronson.
There's one entrance sound that I hear. That I could see Brock Lesnar beating the hell out of this. Holy crap! Sorry, I just saw this 450-pound lineman catch a tip ball in the air and intercept the ball. Sorry, I got distracted.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I'll see if I can send you the clip of it. It was like it's huge, dude. But anyways, but I like Bronson Reed. Like, I can't think of anybody on the roster right now that without a little bit of vote of confidence could lead me to believe to take him out. He is, for one, his momentum is way too high, and then the mass.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro. I don't see anybody. I don't see Bronson not winning. But if it wasn't Bronson, I see it being Sheamus. This one, though, I can't wait to see. Ilya Dragunov versus Dominic versus Dragon Lee.
Ooh.
I see Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio costing Dominic an opportunity.
I see Ilya winning this.
I see Ilya winning it as well.
I see Ilya winning it. I see Bronson Reed winning, and I see Bronson Reed winning, and that leaves, holy cow.
Yep. So you get Jey Uso, Pete Dunne, Bronson Reed, and Ilya Dragunov in a fatal four-way.
Do we have to predict that? Holy shit.
I'm saying it's a prediction for us. I'm marking who we have.
That's going to be a crazy match, dude.
Because if that is it, that's going to be gas.
Dude. Holy mackerel. I can't wait to talk about this next week.
And think about it, bro. In this fatal four-way, Braun Breaker can easily come in, run through everybody,
and choose the winner.
And not even that, but like make it to a point to where it's like Adam Pearce comes out and goes, you know what? I'm gonna put you in a fuck, bro. What kind of match can you do?
A TLC
with like
match?
guys? Yeah, with like 5 guys.
TLC?
Possible.
I mean, the only other match that comes to mind is Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, but that's not till February.
February, yeah. That would, but either way, holy shit. The match alone is going to be crazy, dude.
Bro, it's going to be nuts.
Yes. Totally agree.
But that's all I got for us tonight. Tune in tomorrow, immediately following Fashion Berlin, as we'll be going over the predictions, seeing how we did. We'll also be talking a little bit more wrestling. We'll also be getting you talking some college football, just because it'll be in that time frame.
Okay.
And we will also be getting you ready for the Plunder. So stay tuned. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Yes, speaking of which, the Plunder at the Plunder 2023. You can find my homeboy over here at Real88. That's REELEIGHTY, the number 8. Until next week, we'll see you. Oh, back up. Until tomorrow afternoon, have a good night.